Brigitte Bardot was born on September 28, 1934, in Paris, France, into a comfortable, upper-middle-class family. From the very beginning, her childhood was shaped by a blend of privilege, discipline, and early exposure to the arts, which would later influence her path to becoming one of the most iconic figures in cinema and fashion. Her parents, Louis Bardot and Anne-Marie Musel, had high expectations for their daughter, hoping she would grow up refined and cultured. Growing up in the 1930s and 1940s, Brigitte's early years were marked by the shadows of World War II, which brought uncertainty and hardship to much of France, including Paris. Despite these challenges, her family's social status allowed her a relatively protected upbringing. From a young age, Brigitte was drawn to dance. At the age of 6, her parents enrolled her in ballet classes, hoping to cultivate grace and poise in their daughter. She trained rigorously at the Conservatoire de Paris, showing remarkable dedication and talent. Ballet became a central part of her childhood, demanding discipline but also nurturing her natural beauty and elegance. However, Brigitte was never a conventional child. Alongside her ballet lessons and academic studies, she was known for her rebellious spirit and desire for independence. She often resisted authority, seeking to express herself freely in ways that sometimes clashed with her parents' strict expectations. This rebelliousness was a sign of the strong personality she would later display in her career and personal life. At school, Brigitte was charming and confident, qualities that made her stand out among her peers. Even as a young girl, her striking beauty was apparent, and she quickly became aware of its impact on others. This early awareness helped her develop a natural charisma and presence that would serve her well in front of the camera. Her parents were initially cautious about the entertainment world but supported her artistic interests, allowing her to begin modeling during her early teenage years. Brigitte started appearing in advertisements and fashion magazines, where her elegance and poise made her a favorite among photographers. This exposure to the glamorous world of fashion was exciting for Brigitte, contrasting with the more structured environment of her home and school life. As she grew older, her fascination with cinema deepened. She admired French film stars and dreamed of becoming an actress. She took acting classes and began to develop her craft, showing a natural talent for performance and a desire to captivate audiences. Despite her early successes, Brigitte's childhood was not without difficulties. Growing up in a world torn by war and social change, she faced moments of uncertainty and self-doubt. Balancing the pressures of her family's expectations with her own dreams was challenging. Yet, these struggles helped shape her resilience and determination. In summary, Brigitte Bardot's childhood was a mix of privilege, artistic nurture, and personal rebellion. It was a time that laid the foundation for her future as a symbol of beauty, freedom, and independence. The experiences and challenges of her early years gave her the strength and confidence to become the legendary icon she is remembered as today. Brigitte Bardot's career is one of the most fascinating stories in the history of cinema, marked by rapid rise to fame, international stardom, and a legacy that transcends film. Born in 1934 in Paris, Bardot's career began humbly, but it soon exploded into worldwide recognition thanks to her unique combination of beauty, charisma, and rebellious spirit. In the early 1950s, Brigitte started as a model and actress in French cinema, initially playing small roles in films that allowed her to gain experience and exposure. Her breakthrough came with the 1956 film And God Created Woman, directed by Roger Vadim, which showcased her sensuality and charm like never before. This movie catapulted her into the international spotlight and established her as a new kind of sex symbol, one who was both provocative and playful, challenging the conservative norms of the time. Bardot's success in And God Created Woman led to a series of film roles throughout the late 1950s and 1960s, where she starred in a wide range of genres including comedies, dramas, and musicals. Some of her most notable films include Contempt, 1963, directed by Jean-Luc Godard, where she displayed her acting depth, and Viva Maria, 1965, which combined humor with adventure. Her on-screen presence was magnetic, and she quickly became one of the most sought-after actresses in Europe and Hollywood. Beyond acting, Bardot became a global fashion icon. Her style, characterized by tousled hair, off-shoulder tops, and coppery pants, became a template for the free-spirited, youthful look that defined the 1960s. She influenced not just film but also fashion and popular culture worldwide, inspiring countless women and designers. Despite her immense popularity, Bardot was never content to be typecast solely as a glamorous starlet. She sought to take on more challenging roles that would demonstrate her versatility, and she worked with some of the most influential directors of her time. However, the pressures of fame and the desire for personal freedom led her to retire from acting relatively early, in the early 1970s. After retiring from the screen, Brigitte Bardot shifted her focus towards animal rights activism, a cause she became passionately dedicated to. She used her fame and influence to raise awareness about animal cruelty, founding the Brigitte Bardot Foundation for the Welfare and Protection of Animals. This marked a new chapter in her life, where she devoted herself entirely to advocacy and humanitarian work. In conclusion, Brigitte Bardot's career is a remarkable journey from a young dancer and model to an international film star and cultural icon. Her impact on cinema, fashion, and activism remains profound, and she is remembered not only for her unforgettable performances but also for her courage to live life on her own terms and fight for the causes she believed in. Brigitte Bardot was born into a family that played a significant role in shaping her early life and personality. She was born on September 28, 1934, in Paris, France, to Louis Bardot and Anne-Marie Mussel. Her father, Louis, was an engineer, and her mother, Anne-Marie, was a homemaker who later became a successful businesswoman. From a young age, Brigitte's family environment was supportive but also quite structured, which helped instill in her a strong sense of discipline, especially during her early years of dance training. Growing up, Brigitte was the youngest of 3 children. She had 2 older sisters named Marie-Jeanne and Maïjeanne. The Bardot sisters shared a close bond, and their family life was filled with typical sibling interactions, sometimes competitive but mostly loving. Brigitte's mother was particularly influential in encouraging her artistic talents. She enrolled Brigitte in ballet classes when she was just a young girl, hoping to channel her daughter's energy and creativity into something positive. This early exposure to the arts helped Brigitte develop a strong stage presence and a natural grace that later contributed to her success as an actress and model. However, despite the nurturing environment, Bardot's family life was not without its challenges. The pressures of growing up in a fairly conservative household contrasted with Brigitte's emerging rebellious spirit and desire for independence. As she grew older and entered the world of modeling and cinema, her relationship with her parents, especially her mother, sometimes became strained due to the unconventional choices Brigitte made in pursuing her career and lifestyle. Brigitte Bardot never married, but she had several high-profile relationships throughout her life. She was married 4 times, first to actor Roger Vadim, who was instrumental in launching her film career, then to music producer Jacques Charrier, with whom she had a son named Nicolas Jacques Charrier, followed by marriages to German businessman Günter Sachs and later to Bernard d'Ormel. Her only child, Nicolas, born in 1960, had a complex relationship with his famous mother, as Bardot's intense career and activism often kept her busy and away from traditional family roles. Brigitte's extended family also included cousins and relatives who lived more private lives, contrasting with her celebrity status. Despite the complexities, Bardot remained deeply connected to her roots and often spoke about the importance of family in interviews. In summary, Brigitte Bardot's family life was a mix of support, artistic encouragement, and the inevitable challenges that come with fame and personal independence. Her upbringing laid the foundation for her later success, but her journey also reflected the tensions between traditional family expectations and the pursuit of a unique and unconventional life path. Brigitte Bardot, the iconic French actress and animal rights activist, has had a life marked by both remarkable achievements and significant health challenges. Throughout her career and beyond, Her health has been an important aspect that shaped her experiences and lifestyle. In her youth, Bardot was known for her vibrant energy and physical beauty, which she maintained through her disciplined routine of dance and physical activity. Starting ballet classes at a very young age, she developed a strong foundation of physical fitness and grace that helped her succeed in the demanding world of modeling and acting. However, as her fame grew, the pressures and demands of Hollywood and European cinema took a toll on her health. The constant public scrutiny, intense filming schedules, and lifestyle choices contributed to periods of stress and exhaustion. Bardot, like many celebrities, faced the challenge of balancing her public persona with private well-being. Over the years, she struggled with issues related to diet and mental health, at times coping with anxiety and the emotional strain that came from living under the spotlight. Despite these challenges, Bardot showed resilience and an ability to adapt. After retiring from acting in the early 1970s, she dedicated much of her life to animal rights activism, a cause that gave her a new sense of purpose and fulfillment. This shift in focus positively impacted her mental and emotional health, providing her with peace and satisfaction outside of the entertainment industry. Physically, Bardot remained active and engaged with the world around her. She was known to be outspoken about her health routines and often emphasized the importance of natural living and respect for one's body. In recent years, however, as she aged, Bardot faced the typical health issues associated with growing older. Reports have indicated that she has encountered mobility challenges and the natural decline in physical strength that comes with age. Nevertheless, she has maintained a relatively private approach to her health matters, focusing instead on her advocacy and personal interests. Brigitte Bardot's health journey reflects the complexities of a life lived in the public eye, with its ups and downs, struggles and recoveries. Her early physical discipline laid the groundwork for a career that demanded stamina and poise, while her later years showed a transition toward inner peace and dedication to causes beyond herself. Through it all, Bardot's resilience and determination to live authentically have remained central to her story. Brigitte Bardot's life, while often seen through the glamorous lens of her fame, was marked by many significant difficulties and hardships that shaped her both personally and professionally. From a young age, Brigitte faced the pressures of living up to the image the world expected of her. Born into a comfortable family in France, she was introduced to the world of ballet and performance early on, but the intense discipline and strict training of ballet took a toll on her body and mind. She struggled with the constant demand for perfection and the physical pain that came with the rigorous practices. As she transitioned from ballet to modeling and then to acting, Bardot was thrust into an industry known for its ruthless nature and harsh scrutiny, especially toward women. The film industry of the 1950s and 60s placed enormous pressure on her to maintain a certain image, that of the alluring, carefree sex symbol. This image often overshadowed her true self and led to a constant battle with typecasting, where she was rarely seen as anything beyond a glamorous icon. This limitation caused frustration and inner conflict, as Bardot wanted to be taken seriously as an actress but found it difficult to break free from the roles dictated by her beauty and public persona. Her personal life was also filled with challenges. Bardot experienced tumultuous relationships and marriages that brought emotional pain and instability. The intense public interest in her private life made it hard for her to find peace, and she often felt trapped by the media's invasive attention. Moreover, Bardot's outspoken nature and willingness to speak on controversial topics often put her at odds with public opinion and even legal authorities. She faced multiple lawsuits and social backlash due to her outspoken views on politics and immigration in France, which created additional personal and professional difficulties. Another major hardship in Bardot's life was her battle with mental health. The pressure of fame, combined with personal disappointments and the struggle for identity beyond her public image, led her to experience bouts of depression and anxiety. These mental health struggles were often hidden from the public, but they deeply affected her well-being and decisions, including her early retirement from acting at just 39 years old. After leaving the film industry, Bardot dedicated herself to animal rights activism, which provided her with a new purpose but also brought fresh challenges. Fighting for animal welfare in a world that often ignored or opposed such causes meant she had to face criticism and opposition, sometimes even threats. Yet, she remained steadfast, despite the difficulties that came with her passionate advocacy. Throughout her life, Brigitte Bardot faced the difficult task of balancing her public image with her private struggles. The hardships she endured, from physical pain and emotional turmoil to societal criticism and legal battles, revealed a complex woman behind a glamorous facade. Her story is a testament to resilience, showing how she overcame adversity while continually striving to live life on her own terms. Despite the obstacles, Bardot's legacy endures not only as a cinematic icon but also as a courageous individual who faced her difficulties head-on and transformed them into a lifelong commitment to causes she deeply believed in.